Hi VC, Dave with you on a very nice sunny March, which is very unusual here, I have to say. Saturday. Just saw Ben Costello's video there from Costello Towers. I'd start off with I met him last Friday, and which was Patrick's Day weekend. Last Friday. Sorry, the Friday before last, rather. So a week last Friday. A week yesterday, basically. Yeah, he gave me some stuff which he picked up on I think it was on a recent trip to Galway, which is on the west coast of Ireland. He picked up some random kind of stuff at some second-hand shops, I think. But this is a rather interesting Merle Haggard. Sorry, but My Farewell to Elvis. Yeah, so this is certainly something which I don't generally. I wouldn't have too much of this kind of thing in my collection, but yeah, Merle Haggard, extremely late Merle Haggard. You know, very well regarded among, I suppose, among people who generally aren't country fans, let's say. But yeah, this was, as the title indicates, this was recorded as a tribute to Elvis in 1977, on the year of his death. So yeah, came out on MCA Records. So I had to listen to it. Yeah, really like this. So yeah, something, you know, always a bit of a curveball. Yeah, something I wouldn't probably generally have in my collection, but my neighbours, by the way, if you can hear all that noise. Okay, he also gave me some singles. OMD Joan of Arc, very nice cover. I think I probably already have that on the album, but nevertheless, it's nice to Sting, Russians. Don't generally collect Sting, but the Human League. He gave me two by the Human League. Open Your Heart. I'm sorry, is it Blue? No. Yeah. Open Your Heart, which is off there, I believe. And this is one I didn't have, the Lebanon. This is a slightly later one by the Human League. So nice to have that. So thanks very much, Ben, for that very interesting VCLT there. Okay, so on the day that I met Ben, we ventured into a new record store that's opened in town. It's a guy who had been running a stall at a local flea market, but he's now opened his own record store. We had a browse in there. I picked up something which had long been on my want list, and that is Death Disco by Public Image Limited, the 12-inch version of this single, which was released in 1979 on Virgin Records. Just show you the label there now, just 2 seconds. That instantly recognizable PIL, Public Image Limited logo. Yeah, so this was a groundbreaking post-punk single. Yeah, the story behind it was written in response to by John Lydon, aka Johnny Rotten, in response to the death of his mother. His mother, by the way, came from County Cork, my neck of the woods. Both his parents are Irish, but his mother came from here in County Cork. But yeah, so this, yeah, it was, yeah, so groundbreaking post-punk single, mixes dub, reggae, and kind of a bit of a disco beat, but a very kind of distorted, kind of dark, sinister kind of disco beat. Yeah, instrumental version on the B side. But yeah, it's one that I'd long been looking for, and glad to have that in my collection. Okay, the other day I ventured into a second-hand record shop, which I've been frequenting for many a year, and over the years has turned up some rather interesting surprises. I made two discoveries as I was rummaging in there. First off, I found this album by Roy Harper. Well, instantly, you know, I virtually never come across Roy Harper in the wild. So it's an album which initially I wasn't particularly familiar with. It's from 1977. Bull in a Ming Vase. Bull in a Ming Vase. That is the kind of tongue twister type title of this album. So this was released on Harvest in 1977. Now, interestingly, there's one track on this called Watford Gap on side 1, which was omitted from subsequent pressings because it was a song that basically was taking the piss out of this motorway cafe called Watford Gap, in which he basically had a kind of a rant about this. I think he'd been there a few times while he was touring, and he just had a complete rant about their food, apparently. Watford Gap, a plate of grease and a load of crap. So that kind of gives you the idea, and I'll be, you know, as can be expected, the proprietor of Watford Gap wasn't too happy, so for legal reasons, the song had to be removed from subsequent pressings. But this is a first press. To be quite honest, this album is not one of his better ones. It's quite commercial, particularly side 1. Side 1 has this weirdly kind of, I don't know, it's almost kind of Beatles-esque kind of a quality. It's like he was trying really hard to kind of, you know, maybe try for a hit single with some of the songs on these. Side 2 is taken up with a single long track called One of Those Days in England. Now that's more vintage Roy Harper, but you know, yeah, nice to find, but yeah, not one of his better albums really. It has to be said. Now at the same time, and in the same place, I also picked up this. Love Forever Changes. I'm sure I don't need to go. I'm sure you're all familiar with this album. I picked both this and the Roy Harper for two of them for €15. So basically they came to €7.50 each, which is pretty good, I think. Now this is not a first pressing. This is a 1976 reissue. On Elektra, so it's on the Butterfly label, but still, you know, very pleased to have this on vinyl. I already had it on CD. I have a kind of one of these kind of extended special edition CDs, you know, with extra tracks. But very nice to find it on vinyl, and I think I got it for a really nice price. Yeah, I'm sure you're all familiar with this album. It's an absolute classic psychedelic album. Originally released in 1967. I think it was their third album. But yeah, what can I say? Classic album. Okay, everything else I'm going to show from now on are going to be CDs. Yes, the dreaded CDs. These two I meant to show in my last video, but I got these two on Discogs. Aphex Twin, 26 mixes for cash. on Warp Records. Aphex Twin, it's a double CD. Aphex Twin does remixes. He remixes some of his own stuff, also remixes by the likes of Gavin Bryars, Philip Glass, Sainted 10, 9 Inch Nails, etc. Now he does a remix of David Bowie's Heroes, which I'm not crazy about. Well, actually, it's a Philip Glass's version, but Philip Glass's version of Heroes. But other than that, I really like this album. I mean, it is Aphex Twin. I am a huge fan of his stuff. The other one I got, David Sylvian, an album by him, a solo album by him, which I have been looking for, and this is sorry, what is it? Dead Bees on a Cake. Dead Bees on a Cake by David Sylvian, and this came out. I think this came out in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I got the two of these from the same seller on Discogs. Yeah, so now I made some really nice charity shop or thrift shop CD finds. Now there's one really big CD haul which I made in one particular charity shop. Now whoever gave these CDs away had really good interest in good music taste, because I picked up some really nice stuff. Now I'm not going to show everything from that particular haul because I'll be here all day. But I'll just show you the two, start off with the two most interesting ones. Can Monster Movie. Yeah, I think any Krautrock fans won't need an introduction to this. This is a debut album by Can from 1969. This featured their original vocalist Malcolm Mooney, and this is a 2004 CD issue on Spoon Records. It's actually it's a CD, SACD kind of hybrid, and yeah, what can I say about this? When I saw this, I just had an absolute, when I was flicking through the CDs and saw Can on the spine, I thought, wow, and now I've hit a kind of a rich seam here. So got it for less than €1. The other really good one that I picked up in that haul was this. This is one that I've been looking for. Godspeed You Black Emperor, band from Canada. This album is called Raise Your Skinny Fists Like Antenna to Heaven. This came out in year 2000. One of the first great albums of the new millennium, along with Kid A by Radiohead, which came out the same year. Yeah, so it's technically, post-rock, even though I think the band themselves don't particularly like that term. But yes, this is a double album, entirely instrumental. It's basically made up of suites, which are kind of musical suites made up of kind of almost classical music style, which change from, but it's like technically speaking two long tracks. But yeah, this is an absolute masterpiece of an album, and really pleased to have found that. Yeah, so some of the other stuff which I picked up in that particular haul, this album by Sigur Ros. What the hell is this album called? It's got this completely unpronounceable title, which I'm just not going to bother trying to pronounce. But also this album, Low, Things We Lost in the Fire, from 2001. I already have this on vinyl actually, but I thought, yeah, definitely this is a superb album. So it's nice. Yeah, wasn't going to leave the CD behind. Mamadou Diabate, and this is called Tunga. This is a musician from the Cameroons, and this instrument that he plays is he's Mali. He's Malian actually. Sorry, he's not Cameroonian. He's from Mali. But yeah, this is the kora. That's that instrument, kind of a harp-like instrument, I suppose you could call it. And also this band called Larson. Now this is released on Michael Guira's Young Gods label, Michael Geyer of Swans. Yeah, Larson, and the album was called River. It's kind of industrial, kind of neo-folk type thing. And yeah, Talk, Spirit of Eden, kind of a favorite album with the VC. I think a lot of you probably have this on vinyl, so don't need to go into too much. But yeah, superb album. Oh yeah, and Tom Waits, Heart Attack and Vine, another one I don't think I need to go too much into. Yeah, so that was that particular venue. So I picked up some more really interesting stuff during the week, some more really interesting CDs. Gil Scott-Heron, Ghetto Style. This is a compilation album featuring basically his just a run through of his career, of his, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, The Bottle, etc. So whoops. Yeah, this is yeah, so it's kind of a budget label really, but yeah, great selection of tracks on it. And oh yeah, another one by Sigur Ros, and again another unpronounceable title. It's just a kind of a symbol thing, but yeah, nice slipcase. Sorry if I'm not doing too much of a hypnosis of these albums, but there are quite a lot of them, and I don't want the video to run on too long. But yeah, there are also, I found a lot more CDs as well, and I could probably be here all day showing you all of them. But really, there's so many. Yeah, I really have been having a really hit lucky with CDs lately. I've been finding some really fantastic stuff. But okay, so that's it. I'll leave it at that. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon.